practiced this yesterday, take a minute to write both inequalities for those two graphs at the top. I don't care what letter you use. Oh, it looks like they want you to use X. Write an inequality that could be represented with that shading. Carson, would you write on the first one?
X is greater than -1.
Thoughts? Okay, Jackson?
Solid is the...
Yep. Now, technically, could you write -1 is less than X? Yes. Okay. Addie, what'd you write for the second one? Thoughts? Same thing. Technically, you could have written 4 is greater than or equal to X. You guys do exactly what I would and put the variable first, but just so you know, you can always write it the other way. The biggest thing is, and I always say, which way are the alligator jaws eating, right? Are they eating the X or are they eating the number? So yesterday, everything you dealt with was dealing with only addition and subtraction. Okay? This, today, we're going to have to multiply and divide. Again, treat it just like you do an equal sign. If I covered up my variable, what's the first thing I need to do? Add 16 to both sides. I would end up with 18 is less than or equal to y divided by 2. This fraction bar means division. The opposite of division is, so I multiply both sides by 2. 2 times 18 is 36 is less than or equal to y. Just like an equation. Okay? You know, rules with equations, and we just solved this, is whatever you do to one side, you have to do the other. Agreed? As long as you do that, you continue to make them balanced. Which number is greater, 4 or 3? 4. So everybody agrees that I should really write 4 is greater than 3, correct? Now, technically, if I multiply both sides by 2, as long as I do it to both sides, this should still be true, yes? 4 times 2 is 8. 3 times 2 is the inequality still correct? Okay. We go to the right. Which number is greater, 7 or 9? 9. By rule, as long as I multiply both sides by the same thing, the inequality shouldn't change. 7 times -4 is -28. 9 times -4 is -36. It changes, yes? -28 is greater than -36. So here's the curveball. If you or when you multiply or divide, only multiplication and division, by a negative number. Notice here we multiplied by 2, positive number. Here we multiplied by -4. You must flip the inequality. I don't care what your answer is. It doesn't matter if you produced a positive or produced a negative. Whatever you multiply by, if it's negative or positive, whatever you multiply or divide by, if it's negative, you have to flip the inequality. Yep. Okay, so solve the inequality. Simplify your answer as much as possible. What should I do with this one? Times by 5? You want to go -5? Okay. So if we go by -5, 2 negatives make a positive. My 5's cancel. I'm left with 4v. But what did you just multiply by? A negative. So no longer do you have a less than or equal to, you have a greater than or equal to. A negative times a negative is a positive. 16 times 5, 80. Not negative. Okay. Now I divide by 4. My 4's cancel. V. So I need to go back to less than here, correct?
No.
But I divided. Very good. The 4 is a positive. So I leave V is greater than or equal to 20. If you ever want to double check yourself, pick a number that would make this true. What's a number greater than or equal to 20? 21. If I take 4 times 21 divided by negative 5, I should get less than negative 16. You can always pick a number to plug it back in there. Okay? Top of the next page. Negative 7/6 is greater than u divided by 12. I should times by 12. Times by 12. On that right-hand side, my 12s cancel. I'm left with u. On the left-hand side, what should I do? 12 over 1 and cancel. Say it again, Alexa. So 12 should become a, and 6 should become a. And when I multiply on that left side, I get negative 14 is greater than? But it's negative.
But we didn't times it by the other one.
Bingo. What did I multiply by again? 12. I multiplied by a positive number. Yes, my answer ended up negative. That doesn't matter. Ms. Hoff doesn't care. It's the number that you multiplied by.
So it's only going to be multiply by not just one of them. So, never mind. Just whatever.
Here, I should divide by negative 3. 2 negatives and my 3's cancel. U is less than 6. Why did we flip it that time? The number I divided by is a negative 3. It doesn't matter what your answer is. It's what you actually divided by. All right. The city is building a rectangular parking lot. The city wants the width of the parking lot to be 5 yards. The area of the parking lot must be at most 60 yards. These are city regulations. Write an inequality that describes the possible lengths in yards of the parking lot. Use L for the length of the rectangular parking lot. Wowzer, we got a lot of information here. What's a key word? Tells us what we're calculating. Ooh, at most. I was looking at this word, area. But yes, at most is important too. Area of what shape? How do you find the area of a rectangle? Okay, so area is length times width. So in this, our length times width must be at most 60 yards. What symbol?
Less than or equal to.
Like this? 60? So you want it smaller than 60. Does everybody agree with that?
Yes.
Okay, at most. Correct, we can't be more than 60. Well, that doesn't help. I have 2 variables.
So,
Oh,
5 yards.
Miles?
Tells us the width.
the width is 5 yards.
The width is 5 yards. So really I have L times 5 is less than or equal to 60. Read the room, dude. Read the room. Now what should I do?
Solve.
Divide by 5 on both sides. L is less than, ooh, should I flip that?
No.
Okay, L is less than or equal to 12. If you were going to say that to me, not saying L has to be less than or equal to 12,
The length of the rectangle
the length of the rectangle
has to be less than 12.
has to be,
Less
careful,
than or equal to.
less than or equal to, or at most, right? Technically, you could use that word at most again. Good. This is what you would type into, Alex. Susan will run less than 27 miles this week. Ooh, that's a lot of information already. Agreed? So if I just want to write this in mathematically, Susan I'll put Susan's miles. What symbol is compared to 27? Susan will run less than. So Susan's miles are less than 27. So far, she's run 17 miles. What are the possible number of additional miles she will run? Use T for the number of additional miles she will run. Write your answer as an inequality. So now I don't want to talk about Susan's miles anymore. How am I going to represent Susan's miles? 17 T is less than 27. Yeah. What are the possible numbers of additional miles? Really, you want 17 plus T. Be careful with that plus and the T. They start to look alike. Good job. Now that's true. You can make a capital T. To solve this, you should subtract 17. T is less than, oh, should I flip that? That's a negative 17.
We're not multiplying.
Very good. 27 minus 17 is 10. So Susan will run less than 10 miles this week. The only difference in what we're doing is you may have multi-step involving multiplication or division. The biggest thing you have to worry about is if the number that you actually multiply by or the number you actually divide by is negative, you must flip the inequality. You're going to have work today. I guess you had work yesterday too. Just my other classes didn't have work. Grab scratch paper. Don't open anything. Just log into your computer. I need to check something. Don't open anything. Just log into your computer. Later.